You know, in the beginning there, we bring 200 folding chairs into the gym and have 25 or 30 people show up for meets and things.
What a difference a few decades make. Now Utah's Greg Marsden presides over a gymnastics powerhouse that attracts more fans than just about any place in the country, and on average outdraws men's basketball. That, of course, has a lot to do with the 800 wins he's racked up, and wait till you hear how he got the job. Sammy Linebaugh takes us back in time to the humble beginnings of Utah's gymnastics empire.
Greg Marsden is setting new records with every meet. He already has more wins than any other gymnastics coach in the country, and the most national championships with 10. In his 32 years as Utah's head coach, he says winning a title never gets routine.
They're all different and they're all special.
It's just motivation to come in and see all those banners up there and to know that our team has been there before and we can do it again.
Long before all the championship banners and national accolades, Greg Marsden was an aspiring teacher, a graduate student at Arkansas State earning his master's in physical education. The University of Utah had a teaching assistant opening, so he packed his bags.
Part of my assignment here was to teach a 1-hour activity class in gymnastics, and along with winter survival and handball and life-saving.
Marsden had been a competitive diver in college. Gymnastics was something he did on the side.
I never intended to coach, and much less gymnastics.
But then in 1972, the U.S. Congress passed a civil rights law that would revolutionize college sports and change the course of Marsden's life, professionally and personally.
I just happened to be here when Title IX was passed and they needed to start a varsity sport for women, or a number of them, and they had the equipment, and I happened to be teaching a class, so they just asked if I'd help start a program. We were fortunate, qualified to nationals, finished 10th that first year, then 9th, then 6th, then 4th, then 2nd, then we won 6 in a row. Once we started having success, I got bit a little bit, and I really became passionate about seeing, you know, how successful we could become.
By the early 1980s, Marsden was on top of the college gymnastics world, but his life was about to take another turn.
He and I, during my first season, had more turmoil between the two of us in the gym than any other athlete. And most of it had to do with the fact that I had a long way to come.
Megan McCunniff came to Utah from Cedar Falls, Iowa. By her sophomore season, not only had her performance improved, but the tension between coach and athlete had transformed into something else.
And I thought I might like to date this girl. I liked the qualities that she had, the person that she was.
He'd been my coach, and then we were in the off season, and then I began to see him more as just another person.
And I wound up flying back to Iowa and met with she and her parents, and we talked about all the pitfalls that were obvious, and but we talked to them about the fact that we didn't want to date. We wanted to give it a shot, and so they reluctantly, you know, agreed to that. I was very young and very naive then, and you think you can make everything work, but now with more experience, I realized that, man, did we both of us take a big risk.
I didn't know if it would work. I hoped, but I didn't know. And I mean, that was the gamble, is that if it didn't work, probably I was going to be the one on the short end of the stick.
As fate would have it, neither Greg or Megan could have predicted how the coming months would play out.
We won the national championship for the 3rd time as a team, and the icing on the cake was that Megan won the all-around.
The young gymnast from Iowa, who had struggled to find her way that first year, was the #1 gymnast in the nation. And what's more, her coach, the guy who'd been so tough on her in the beginning, was about to become her husband.
I mean, icing on the cake to have the head coach be my husband as well.
Greg and Megan were married between her junior and senior seasons. She went on to win the all-around title again in 1984, while he led the team to another national championship.
Some of the qualities that Greg has, he still has today, that attracted me, and that's his passion for his work and his teaching, and it's part of why I'm coaching with him.
With 2 sons of their own and a whole family of daughters, Greg and Megan have coached together for the past 20 years.
Come on, arms up, stand up.
I mean, I believe that he could coach almost any sport and be successful. I really believe that. He didn't know that much about gymnastics, and definitely not on a high level. He learned all that. I think he's really good with female athletes and understanding how they tick.
Before I came to college, I was not a consistent athlete. You know, nerves was a big problem for me, and something he's done has really helped me to click and to know that, you know, I can get out there and do a good routine every time.
She knows how we feel sometimes, and it's really cool to have a coach that was on the team before and to know that she was a part of the championships that they won and the banners hanging up there.
I know for the athletes, they want a banner in the gym in their honor too.
And with this season's national championships happening on the Utes' home floor in April, the Marsdens say they have at least 10,000 reasons to win one more.
We've averaged over 10,000 people here, spectators at our home meets for the last 15 years. So they've been tremendously loyal. If we can get this done and win in front of our fans, man, there's not a better feeling.
In Salt Lake City, Sammy Leinbach for The Mountain.